from the revelation to the inviting to Allah. The descent of revelation. When the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessing of Allah be upon him, reached the age of 37, he began worshipping in the small cave Hira and remained so until he reached the age of 40. In the month of Ramadan, the will of Allah Almighty wanted heaven to connect with the earth. So, Allah sent the revelation's guardian of heaven to the custodian of the earth, the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessing of Allah be upon him, the beginning of the invitation and the early Muslim religious to Islam. The Prophet began to invite those who knew him and he knew them to Allah and to Islam. Those who believed that there was God in them. Number 1, Mrs. Khadija bint Khuwaylid, the wife of the Prophet. Number 2, Ali ibn Abi Talib, the cousin of the Prophet. Number 3, Zayd ibn Haritha, the servant of the Prophet. Number 4, Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, Abu Bakr ibn Abi Quhafa. This was his name, the companion of the Messenger of Allah and his intimate friend, and the merchant as-Saduq, and religious to Islam on his hand, Uthman ibn Affan, Az-Zubayr ibn al-Awwam, Abdul Rahman ibn Auf, Sa'd ibn Abi Waqqas, and Talha ibn Ubaydullah. Number 5, and other Muslims from Quraysh, men and women, and a number of loyalists and slaves of women. The Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessing of Allah be upon him, kept inviting to Allah secretly for about 3 years until the saying of Allah was revealed in the holy verse, and warn, O Muhammad, your nearest clan. Surah Ash-Shu'ara, verse number 214. And then the Prophet began to invite his family and his clan. Then the saying of Allah Almighty was revealed in the noble verse, then declare what you are commanded, and turn away from the polytheists. Surah Al-Hijr, verse number 94. And then the Prophet began to invite to Islam openly everywhere. Hence, a new stage of inviting to the religion of Allah began, and with it, a different stage of victimization and ridicule of the Messenger of Allah and those Muslims with him, the stage of persecution. This stage began in the 4th year after the beginning of the invitation, when the Quraysh poured out its full anger and indignation of the Muslims in general and the weak Muslims in particular. Every tribal chief used to torture the most peaceful of the tribe, where they tortured Muslim with chilling skin and breaking hair. The Messenger of Allah was being opposed and ridiculed by Abu Lahab, Abu Jahl, Uqba ibn Abi Mu'ayt, Umayyah ibn Khalaf, and other great infidel and polytheism. And this Abu Bakr as-Siddiq was severely beaten in the face, and the polytheists left him only when they thought he was dead. The uncle of Uthman ibn Affan was wrapping him in the mats and turning a fire under him. History hasn't mentioned that any of those who were tortured apostatized from the severity of the torment that he endured. But this torment only increased their adherence to the religion of Allah more, because they saw that this religion is the true religion.